had a spectacular time uncovering the stories of Çatalhöyük, a Neolithic settlement dating back 9,000 years. As always, we're on location to take a culinary journey back through time. But what exactly did our prehistoric ancestors eat? Let's figure it out together. This video was filmed at a distance that does not pose a risk to any cultural properties. The recipe I'll be cooking today is a lamb stew full of healthy legumes like chickpeas and lentils. Let's get started. I've already got my pot on the heat getting nice and hot. Just move that to the middle. And the first thing I'll add to my pan is some lamb fat. Animal fats are probably the oldest cooking fat we know of. So since we're in a prehistoric settlement, of course we don't have any written documents. That's the definition of prehistoric. So we don't actually have a recipe from Çatalhöyük, but we're gathering different data from the archaeological excavations and putting together the ingredients eaten here to make our meal today. I'll let our lamb fat render just a little bit, and then I can start browning our meat. So now that I've got a nice layer of fat at the bottom of the pan, I'll add the meat. Today I'm using lamb shank and some part from the ribs of the lamb. Any slow cooking, fatty cut will work perfectly. I'll also add some salt. So we know that in Çatalhöyük they consumed a lot of lamb and goat, and some wild birds and animals, and just a little bit of fish. That's of course in addition to their legumes. They had lots of vegetable proteins like chickpeas, lentils, and wheat, but ancient strains of wheat like einkorn and emmer. I'll let our meat get nice and brown to add extra flavor to the stew. We're so lucky to have all of these modern cooking accessories today. Actually, for the first 600 years of the history of Çatalhöyük, the only way they could boil water was to add hot stones directly into their pot. After many changes of stones, the water eventually boiled. I can't imagine how difficult that would make cooking. Let's check on our meat again. So our meat has some nice color on it, and I can add the water. So now this just has to come to a boil and cook for 40 or 45 minutes. This video was filmed at a distance that does not pose a risk to any cultural properties. We know that the people of Çatalhöyük started using clay pots similar to this, starting in 6400 BC. We know this because of the archaeological evidence found here, showing soot or burn marks on the bottom of these pots. Our lamb looks like it's cooked through, so now I can add my lentils and my chickpeas. In addition to grains like wheat and barley, legumes, similar to these lentils and chickpeas, were some of the first things grown during the agricultural revolution. And by the way, I'm using pre-cooked lentils and chickpeas just to speed things up. So now our chickpeas go in the pot. If you don't cook your legumes beforehand, you can add the raw lentils and the soaked chickpeas at the same time as the lamb and just cook it until everything is tender. Now I'll just put the lid on, let it come back up to a boil, and in the meantime, I can clear my table and get ready to serve. It looks like it's boiling, so I think our meal is ready. Oh, it looks amazing. And smells great too. So I guess we're ready to serve. I'll get myself a nice piece of our tender lamb, or maybe two, and a couple spoonfuls of our ancient legumes. And there we have it, our Neolithic recipe. This video was filmed at a distance that does not pose a risk to any cultural properties. Now it's time to taste. What a tasty, nutritious, and comforting dish. I can't wait to cook this for my family when I get back home. Let us know in the comments if you tried this recipe. We'd love to hear your feedback. And thank you for joining Turkish Museums on this journey as we continue to cook our way through Turkey's archaeological sites.